February 12, 2026, Inec chairman Professor Joash Amopitan walked into the National Assembly with a proposal that made millions of Nigerians do a double take.
Democracy is neither cheap or accidental. It requires deliberate planning, adequate funding, institutional integrity, and continuous innovation.
873.778 billion naira. That's what INEC says it needs to conduct the 2027 elections. Now, if that number sounds insane to you, you're not alone, because just 4 years ago, in 2023, INEC spent over 313.4 billion in naira to conduct the presidential and national assembly election. That was already a lot of money. But 873 billion, that's almost 3 times more than before.
With all this allocation, I can assure you nothing is going to change.
So the question everyone is asking is very simple. Where is all this money actually going to? And more importantly, after everything Nigeria went through in 2023, can we even trust INEC to deliver this time around? Stay with me, because what INEC isn't telling us is more interesting than you ever think.
In this current budget, how much of that is going actually into 2027 elections? How much is going into private pockets? That is the problem. Once you remove that, Nigeria will become secure.
Let me show you exactly where INEC says this money is going to. Professor Amopitan broke the budget down into 5 parts. 379.748 billion naira for operations. That's things like logistics, moving materials around the country, paying ad hoc staffs, and printing ballot papers. Then 92.317 billion for administration, office expenses, salaries for INEC staffs, overhead costs. Then 2.206 billion for technology, BVAS machine, IReV portal, servers, electronic machine. We have 154.905 billion naira for capital expenses, buying new equipment, vehicles, office buildings, things INEC will own after the election. And then 42.608 billion naira for miscellaneous expenses, things they can't predict yet but want to set money aside for it. Add it up, is over 873.778 billion naira. Now, on paper, this sounds reasonable. Elections are very expensive. Nigeria has over 176,000 polling units spread across the 6 states and the capital. Moving materials, paying staffs, securing process, all of that cost money. But here is where Nigerians are getting suspicious. In 2023, INEC originally asked for 305 billion naira to conduct the election. The inflation hit, the naira collapsed, security incident damaged INEC facilities. So INEC went back and asked for an additional 52 billion naira, bringing the total approved budget to 355.2 billion naira. But even then, the federal government only released 313.4 billion naira. INEC conducted the 2023 election with 313.4 billion. Now, just 4 years later, INEC is saying they need over 873 billion. That's 2.8 times more than what they actually spent in 2023. So what actually changed? Asking the question, nobody is answering. Professor Amopitan says the higher cost is because of capital expenses. He says in previous budget, certain items weren't fully included, so now they are consolidating everything into one budget. He also says INEC needs to build its own dedicated communication network. Right now, INEC relies on telecom companies for internet connections during elections, and when the network fails, like it did in 2023, Nigerians blame INEC. So Amopitan is saying, if we build our own network, we will have full control, no excuses. That sounds good, but here is the problem. The 209.206 billion is going to technology. That's almost as much as the entire 2023 election budget. And Nigerians remember what happened with technology in 2023. INEC promised the BVAS machine would transmit results in real time to the IReV portal. They spent billions on this technology. They trained staffs. They ran test election in Ekiti and Osun, and it worked. But on February 25th, 2023, election day, the system collapsed. Results weren't uploaded in real time. Some results took hours, some took days, and by the time everything was uploaded, Nigerian had already lost its trust in it. The Supreme Court later ruled that the election results didn't matter anywhere because the law didn't make them mandatory. So INEC spent over 117 billion on election technology in 2023. And that didn't change any outcome at all. Now they are asking for over 209 billion for technology in 2027, double the amount. And Nigerians are asking the question, what guarantee do we have this time around that it will be different? Now, talking about the real issue, here's what makes this entire situation even more frustrating. Professor Amipitan told the National Assembly that the Ministry of Finance gave INEC a budget ceiling of 140 billion for 2026 operations, but INEC is proposing 171 billion. That's 1 billion more than what the ministry said they should spend. And in Amipitan's response, he said the envelope budgeting system doesn't work for INEC. He said INEC work is urgent and unpredictable, so they need flexible funding. Senator Adam Ashirole, the former Edo State governor and former APC national chairman, agreed with him. He said INEC is too important to be controlled by bureaucracy in the Ministry of Finance. He wants INEC's budgets placed in first-line charge, meaning the money should be released in full immediately without delays. And you know what? Oshomole has a point, because here's what actually happened in 2023. The National Assembly approved 355.2 billion for INEC, but the Ministry of Finance only released 313.4 billion. And even that money came in bits pieces between February 2022 and September 2023. So INEC had to conduct an election without full budget they were promised. Now imagine this, it's 2027. The National Assembly approves 873 billion for INEC, but the Ministry of Finance says we don't have the kind of money right now. We'll give you 500 billion for a start. What happens then? Does INEC cancel the election? Do they borrow money? Do they cut corners? That's the real problem. It's not just about how much money INEC is asking for. It's about whether the government can actually afford it and whether Nigerians will say a different thing in the quality of the election they offer. And here is the elephant in the room. Trust. Nigerians don't trust INEC anymore. Not after 2023. The BVAS mention failed. Results weren't transmitted in real time. Collation officers changed numbers. The Supreme Court threw out electronic evidences. And at the end of the day, the person declared winner was the same person many Nigerians felt didn't actually win. So when INEC says, give us 873 billion and we'll deliver a credible election, Nigerians are skeptical about it all. Because even if INEC gets every naira they're asking for, does it really matter? Will the BVAS mentions work on that day? Will results be transmitted in real time? Will the court accept electronic evidence? Will the politicians stop interfering with collation centers? These are the questions Nigerians want answered before they hand over almost 1 trillion naira to INEC. In conclusion to all this, here is the uncomfortable truth. Even if INEC gets every single naira they are asking for, there is no guarantee that the 2027 election will be better than the 2023 election. Because the problem isn't just about the money. It's trust, it's transparency and accountability. And until INEC can prove Nigerians that they are serious about delivering credible election, this 873 billion budget will just be like another expenses disappointment waiting to happen. The National Assembly will debate this budget in the coming weeks. They will argue over the numbers, they will cut some things, approve others, and eventually they will pass something. But the real question isn't how much money INEC will get, it's whether Nigerians will ever believe their votes actually count in 2027 election. If you love the truth and want to be part of the truth, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, bye for now.